Nathaniel Bowditch was a self-taught man. He dreamed of someday leaving land on a ship under his command. Well, it took him some time, but he did it. Sail away, sail away. Sail away, sail away. Sail away, sail away. Sail away. First he sailed.
Woo, Mark Shepard here with a Modern Jedi Mind Mastery moment for my peak performers people. Here's the deal. You cannot underestimate the power of random training. So here's an example. Sometimes here out on the Hudson River in my Hornbeck canoe, let's hear it for Pete Hornbeck, yay! Out here in my canoe, I'm kind of in the channel, so I gotta keep an eye out for boats, but in my Hornbeck canoe, sometimes I paddle against the outgoing tide or against the incoming tide and with the wind. And sometimes I paddle against the wind but with the tide. Today I was paddling against the wind. I just keep paddling against. Whoa, a huge fish just jumped over there. Anyway, I was paddling against the wind and the tide. And the tide is really cranking in. Look at that backlighting. Oh man, do I have a halo? I want a halo. Where's my halo? Where is that sun? Jeez, whoa, it's getting low. I got an ear low. How can I get myself a halo? I want a halo. There we go. There's an idea. Having an idea. So, anyway, peak performers. Tip number 2, stop taking yourself so fucking seriously. Right? Peak performance is not about winning at any costs. Peak performance is about winning easier, faster, and better. And I gotta stop this because there's a boat coming up the river. Bye.
Sail away, sail away. Sail away, sail away. Sail away, sail away. Sail away. Harvard gave him
Anyway, I just did another lap paddling against the wind and against the tide, and the whole point of what I was trying to say earlier for my peak performers is this. Random opponents or adversaries or challenges are really powerful. And that's the beauty of paddling out in the winter, or in the winter. We'll see what that's like. Paddling out in the water, in the weather, it's always changing. The conditions are always changing. One day it's smooth and calm, the next day there's a headwind, the next day the tide's against you where you want to go, or the wind and the tide are both against you, like right now. And so it makes for a better training, I think, because you never know what you're up against in a competition or in a crucial life situation where your response, your intention, your intelligence matters. Right now, I'm headed back into the cove. I don't know if the wind is gonna be too bad or not. Anyway, so for my peak performers, you want to find a way to randomize your workouts so that you're not doing the same thing every day, so that you're challenging yourself in new ways. A couple of examples of what I'm doing out here on the river. I'm paddling backwards. Right? Paddling backwards because it uses a whole different set of muscles, right? I don't want to just be a forward-moving kayaker. I want to be able to paddle backwards. And it's a wonderful core thing to kind of reach back and pull forward. And so it works really nicely. So I'm trying to do sprints of backward paddling as hard as I can for as long as I can. And, you know, the conditions change, and depending on where the wind is, and it's a wonderful and most enjoyable training because you don't want to get bored, right? Because peak performing is a lot of tedium, it's a lot of work, it's a lot of foundational work, it's a lot of mastering your mind, right? It's challenging yourself to stop making excuses or to stop being a victim. A peak performer wants to move through the obstacles and and he or she is willing, he or she or they or them, or they or them, or he or she has to be willing to take feedback. And this has always been something very difficult for me. I got really good at teaching myself how to do stuff because I didn't like being criticized, and I didn't like people noticing whether I was good or not, right? And it's an issue that comes up from time to time. So the stuff that you can become aware of and work on in your sport, in your work, in your life is the stuff that is one of your most diligent adversaries. So I want you to just begin to look for challenges everywhere they are and to go, oh, cool, okay, this is uncomfortable, I'm going to work through it. Or I don't like this hot, sticky, humid weather. I'm gonna be okay. I'll probably live through it. You know, this too shall pass. Like, focus on what you really want. What do you really want? If you only had 2 weeks to live, what would you be doing? Would you be whining about the weather? No. Okay, get back into it, shepherd. All right. So that's my self-hypnosis. And now we just come out into the sun. So anyway, people, that's your assignment. Practice this. Practice accepting random challenges, and see if you can set yourself up in your physical fitness stuff, in whatever areas of life you're challenging yourself in, to give yourself varied reinforcement, variable reinforcement, and variable difficulty levels. And make sure you reward yourself. Make sure you reward yourself, right? So for me, being out in the canoe is one of the ways I reward myself for doing all the other work I do, a lot of which I don't necessarily want to do, but because I'm a grown-up, I have to do. Okay, so that's it. Peace, grooviness, over and out. Hey, if you like this, could you do that, all that stuff, and subscribe and comment and yeah, all that stuff. Anyway, appreciate you guys. Peace, grooviness, over and out. Boom.
Sail away, sail away. Sail away, sail away. Sail away. Sail away, sail away. Sail away, sail away. Sail away, sail away. Sail away. Sail away, sail away. Sail away, sail away. Sail away, sail away. Sail